the way the system is set up is anti. I'm just being honest. I think it is anti what marriage is about. You know what I mean? It is positioned as a business deal where one party usually loses out. Majority times men suffer. If God forbid it goes down. So that's a whole separate conversation. But I understand what you're saying about like, look, if you believe this, then this is what it means. Outside of that, well, I don't know what to tell you. I guess you have your own.
You know, there are some forms of there are some parts of marriage that are business. You know, that the business, you know, because like I said, my husband and I are co-owners. We co-own our business. So, you know, 50-49 or 51-49. We, you know what I'm saying, yeah. So that is business. But that is because of the worldly standard that we have to live by. And the Bible that some of us follow clearly says you go by the laws of the land. So there are some aspects that you have to add to your marriage, that some components that are business. So I do agree with that. But it's supposed to be, in order for it to be effective and to work, it should be a spiritual thing. Because remember, ladies, we are giving ourselves completely over to an individual and saying to him, care for me. How do you do that and say this is business? How is that done? How can I spiritually give my whole body, my whole mind, my spirit in submission to a man if it's not, and it be just business? I don't think I could actually do that. So it's definitely spiritual for me.
This is why, for me, I don't think I'm not of the belief that all women are wives or can be wives. Right. I don't believe that. I mean, even if you mentioned the Bible, even back in biblical times, you had the concubine class.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. You had wives. So there are some women out there who legitimately believe it's just not for them to be a wife. And that's fine. You know, they got to do what they do. Now, my thing is, like, I can think off the top of my head, this is weird, but I can think of some women that I know personally who have chosen specifically not to get married, are very much living more modern. I mean, I'm not saying they're sleeping around doing anything crazy, but they're focusing on their career. But what I can respect about them is that I don't hear them complain about men. I don't hear them pushing misandry. I don't hear them going around talking about how men are all the issues. Like, these are women that I know to be very much focused on, you know, what they're doing, and they love their career, and they have chosen not to get married, and they don't blame it on the lack of options. So I'm like, for those women who choose not to get married, if you're willing to own that and you're willing to totally take all the responsibilities associated with that, and then not go and blame other people and spew hateful rhetoric, I see nothing wrong with that. Because like I said, I don't think marriage is for everybody, but I do think it's for most. I think most women want it, but just don't know how to get it.
They're confused on how it works. I think they think it's hard. I would say in the beginning it could be hard. Like, you're trying to understand a man. That's like one of the hardest things to me, especially if you're with like an alpha male. I don't know if you guys go into that. But you know, once you get it, you just maintain it. You maintain yourself. You maintain, you know, the relationship. It's a lot of work. Some women don't want to work. They think it's easier to be alone and then just work on their job and then go home. I think that's an easier life, they feel. But it depends. As long as you don't have no children with that, you're just literally single, then that's different. But if you're going to create children, then you need to have your man, your husband with the father, and do that lifestyle. Yeah.
You know, I agree with you. There are women out there that are nuns and they have their purpose. But the reason why I think people are so question marriage so much is because marriage is a standard. Typical, you know, it's a standard. It calls for something. Because even though, think about this, ladies. Even though people don't want it, they totally talk against it like every 5 minutes. It's like, well, hey, wait a minute. You don't want it. Why are we talking about it? It's not for you. Why are you discussing it? It's almost like, I want it, but damn, I don't want to do what it takes to get it. And then when I'm doing it and she ain't doing it. They think about all this stuff. And I'm thinking, what else you got? I mean, what is life giving you? As a single person, I charged my live the other week, on Monday, I think it was. I say, if any of you can bring to me a woman that is single and that lives just as good as I do, and happy as I might even go happy, because I'm a happiness. Now they're gonna say that they are, but if I bet you anything, I can question them, and I would get to a point where they'd be like, because I already know I'm a woman, and we're emotional, and we like companionship. Heck, we like to talk.
Yep.
And we don't want to be sitting up in a room by ourselves talking to nobody every day of the week.
True.
So I already know we can pretend, we can get a dog, and a dog will be good for a time. But again, we were made from a man. I mean, we can wreck order all we want to, but it's still there.